Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to City Sowers.
Hey, we are here, and we have Gideon with us today.
Yes.
At least for a little bit of the time.
Well, yeah. Well, he still requires nearly constant supervision, so.
Are you talking about me or him?
Yes.
So what's the plan today?
Well, the plan today is some bunny care because we have some bunny news.
I love news.
So, about a month ago, I bred both of our rabbit does, but I didn't really talk about it because I was not certain if Arthur was heat sterile, which is where basically they're in high temperatures for so long that it kills their sperm count. And so I didn't know if the breeding was even going to be successful.
So, was it?
It was.
32 days later, we found out.
It was very successful.
Quite.
So their due dates were actually, let's see, Monday and Tuesday.
Yep.
And today is Thursday. And I thought Nimue was just, okay, well, 2 days, and I guess she's not going to have them. But
Fake pregnancy. She was faking it.
she lied.
She lied. She's a liar. Liar bunny.
She actually surprised us yesterday morning with a litter of 9 kits.
9 standard Rex babies. They're darling.
Yes.
They're like this big, hairless.
Yes, they're little hairless rats.
Rabbits.
Rabbits.
Listen to that.
And then this morning, Lady Guinevere surprised us with 9
more. We got 18 bunnies right now.
18 bunnies over the course of like 24 hours.
Amazing. Awesome.
So we've got some bunnies, but I need to do our basic weekly care where I need to empty all of our bins that are collecting all of their leavings. And so I'm going to do that today. I'm going to...
Wait. So, for those of you who remember when we had our cages set up outside, which we'll be getting back to that actually pretty soon, likely, as the weather kind of cools down, we had a whole setup to catch the droppings so we could use them for the garden. Amanda's getting ready to plant her fall garden, so she's going to be cleaning the bins, but we don't have the awesome poop catching situation that we had outside. It's a little more complicated. But
yeah.
That garden gold, you're going to do your best to save some of that, right?
Yes. So there is some that is like piled on the top that I'm going to just scoop out, but I'm not going to be digging through all the pine shavings because honestly the shavings are not going to break down soon enough for me to use. Oh, that was in my ear. Okay.
Sounds
Anyway.
cute when I do that.
The shavings are not going to break down enough for them to really be usable for this year or this season's garden. So the goal is to just save as much of the actual manure as possible and use that in my fall planting.
Yeah, because it's just about time for us to plant our fall garden.
Yes, I actually need to be starting more seeds today. I have my brassicas, kales, collards, broccoli, and cabbages, all that. Those are all started in the house already. But I need to start my lettuces and stuff. Like baby green lettuce is going to be direct sown, but for actual heading lettuce, I'm going to start those and plant those individually.
This is a little different. We actually have shelves in our room that are filled with plants, and it's really a pleasure when she does fish emulsion to
Yeah, when I fertilize them with the fish emulsion.
Our room smells lovely.
Smells so great.
But those shelves are a great way to keep plants indoors and get them started so that once they're ready to be outside, they're ready. What you might see in a department store or a garden store sized.
Well, and at this point, the outdoor weather is too warm to germinate.
Kind of the opposite of the winter.
Yeah. Well, and it's not even just about germination, because it's also about soil temperatures will actually stimulate plants to go to seed at this point in the year, in the season. So I'm going to be starting those plants indoors so that they kind of get some growth under them and wait for the weather outside to cool a little bit so that they don't just immediately bolt and go to seed.
I was laughing this morning when we brought in Guinevere, or the babies, into the house to count them. This little man is hearing the squeaks coming from the babies, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, a box of baby toys, of puppy toys."
Yes, it was like, nope,
no, get out of there. It was darling because he's experiencing this all for the first time. Yes, you are.
Yeah, at this he did not try to touch any of them. He was just watching and smelling.
But also, speaking of first time, we have 3 bunnies left from the last litter, so that's cool. But then 18 more babies on the way.
18 babies.
So that's pretty exciting.
So fortunately, we don't have to worry about housing for 18 babies for another 8 weeks because they stay with mom. But after that,
I'm gonna say I may be referring to that last video I made on how to make another grow out cage.
Yeah, or 2.
18 babies is gonna take some space.
Yes.
So I could also figure out where I'm gonna put them. But actually, a lot of you have asked me to do a video on how to build the PVC holders, the cage holders, and that's gonna be coming. So thank you for the comments and the requests. We will do that. It's actually pretty funny. The first time I did it, it was a mess. Like I was trying to figure out how to do it as I went, and I filmed a how-to, but it was more like a how-to not. So we're not going to share that one, but we'll get it out for you.
So this is how you do it. Oh wait, I did it wrong.
Wait, let's
Don't
go back,
do it
take
that
it
way.
all apart and do it again. So anyway, now that we've got it all figured out, we're going to help you out by sharing that eventually. But that's probably a little further on once we get to cooler weather.
At least a few more weeks out before the weather starts to really cool, because I'm thinking I don't really want the days to be getting over 90 anymore, but before we move them back out.
Yeah, which we're hitting 90, 95 still.
Yep.
In
hot days,
mid-September.
Yep.
Which is kind of wild. But also, for those of you who are concerned with the fires in California, those seem to be taming down finally. Yes, they are. We're safe. We're kind of in the central area, away from some of those fires. So thank you for your comments and concerns for that as well. So, you ready to clean some cages?
Cleaning cages, and I'm gonna clean the patio today.
Oh, look at you! Wow.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, because somebody needs constant
I'll help. I like to help.
And supervision. Hi, baby. He is very much a Velcro dog. Aw, are you a Velcro
Remember how I said he picked me? He has since picked her.
Changed his mind.
Changed his mind. I no longer love you, Daddy.
But he is doing super awesome with his training. We were drilling him this morning, and you know what? Maybe I'll show them later with his lunch. I will come out here with his lunch, and we'll do a training session. You guys can see how much he's progressed. At this point, he is 9.5 weeks old. He's good at kisses. We love the kisses.
Oh. All right, go clean a cage.
All right.
Off you go.
Off we go.
Hi. Hello. Ow.
Now it's time to muck out some bunny bins, and I'm gonna feed the rabbits and get all their stuff taken care of. Now the biggest pain in the neck is this cage right here, where our little grow out bunnies are, because they actually have a tray that's under them. Unfortunately, I was really hoping that it would fit under this bar, but it didn't, and so without seriously modifying our rack, this is the best that we could do. But that means that the entire cage has to be lifted off the tray in order to empty it. So that means I have to take those 3 bunnies out of the cage, put them in a smaller cage so that I can move the big cage and get the tray out. So it is a little bit more of a hassle, but it's also very temporary, so that's just what we have to do. These guys get moved out of the way so I don't cut myself on their wire and they don't accidentally fall off a shelf. So in this tray, you can kind of see where they kind of chose, the poop is more concentrated on one side. So I'm going to try and collect some of that into this 5-gallon bucket here. Just scoop it into there. Okay, so now that I have collected all the poop that I can scoop off the top of here, So just schlepping it out of there. So that one is hands down the most difficult tray. Now I'm gonna go give it a rinse with the hose and I'll be ready for a refresh. So I've gone ahead and fed our does. Now, what I do with our nursing rabbits is that they get alfalfa hay, which I already feed to our goats. They get the extra calcium boost, so it's going to help their milk production and help grow those babies out. So, and they love it. So they get their alfalfa, they get pellets. I also make sure they have grass hay if they want it. They usually, or at least in Guinevere's case, she'll ignore the grass hay until I stop giving her alfalfa, which will be in 8 weeks when she weans her babies. Now, we check our babies every day. It's to check that they're all being fed, that nobody has died. And so we've already checked Guinevere's today, but I need to check Nimwe's still and see how everybody's faring. So we're gonna get them out and you guys can see some newborn baby rabbits. So here is Nimwe's nest of babies. I'm not going to remove them all the way from the nest. I'm just going to pull them all aside and count them and check their bellies. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Alright. They're all still kicking, and this one here is the smallest one and doesn't seem to be very well fed. It's a little bit skinny, not quite as round as the others because it can't compete. So we'll probably go ahead and nurse this one on mom later today. And we'll do forced nursing, which we have shown you before with Guinevere when she had a couple of smaller babies. Now, Guinevere actually lost her 2 very smallest babies in her first litter. But we've learned some, so we're hoping that we're going to be able to have all 18 babies between the 2 litters pull through and survive. But Nimue has a lot of, they're called broken when they have these patterns here on them. So they're going to be white and another color. We have to wait until the hair comes in to really confirm that, what that color is going to be. But I mean, this one's got a lot of spotting on the face, so that one's going to be really pretty. But I don't know yet if that hair is going to be brown or if it's going to be black, so we'll just have to wait and see. It looks like this one may be black because it is a little bit darker, but we'll just have to wait and see. But look at the size comparison between these two. We got the little runt and one of the bigger ones. They are vastly different in size. So that's why we gotta try and help this one along. And it does appear to be the only one in this litter of that color. Alright, so we're gonna tuck them all back into their fur nest. Most of them seem to be pretty well fed. It's just this really, really small runty one that is probably struggling a little bit because it just can't compete with all the other babies that are bigger than it. I mean, look at that. That's a very full belly on that one. Okay. There we go. And then we'll get these guys back in with mom. And so far, Nimue is proving to be a very attentive mommy. Every time that I have checked her babies, when I put the nest back in her cage, she actually will go in and inspect them and make sure they're okay. So that's kind of cute. Unfortunately, that area is a little bit too tight for me to be able to squeeze in the camera and safely move the nest. So I can't really show it to you guys, but she is very attentive. Now, there is a myth that if you handle the babies, the mom won't take care of them. That's not true. If you have a good mom, she's going to take care of her babies regardless. And this is Nimwe's first litter, and so far it looks like she's going to be a pretty solid mom. We already know that Guinevere is a really good mom, so we just have to really watch out for those little runty ones because they're big litters. Mom doesn't have unlimited teats, so they have to compete, and the little guys just can't compete with the bigger ones. Now with regard to forced nursing, there's a reason why I'm not doing it right now, and I'll be doing it later. That is milk supply. Rabbits only nurse their babies once or twice a day. And when they're this little, she'll probably be nursing them in the morning and in the evening. So what we do is we wait until there's sort of like this middle period when she'll have enough milk to nurse a single baby, no problem, or even 2 babies or 3 babies, whatever, however many you need to force nurse. But she'll have enough milk to actually supply that to them without too much effort. So we're gonna wait until a bit later. Baby should be fine until then. But we just wanna make sure that baby gets a nice full belly so that he can compete with his brothers and sisters. All right, so now Gideon is gonna start his lunchtime training session. He's in his crate. He's been hanging out in here for a few minutes, getting ready to come out, and he's gonna show you guys kind of the things he's been learning. Okay, good boy. Good boy. Yes, you're a good boy. Okay. You ready? Sit. Good boy. Alright, finish crunching. Down. Good boy. Okay, sit. Good boy. Okay, you ready? Spin. Good boy. Go the other way. Spin. Good boy. Down. Good boy. Here. Down. You ready? G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe. Good boy. Okay, and then I have this one. Wait. Okay. Good boy. All right, he's doing awesome, making great progress. So he actually starts his first official puppy training class this Saturday, which is in 2 days. So we'll see how he's measuring up against all those other dogs.
So we are doing what's called forced nursing right now. I'm not usually in this position in nursing, but
this baby is just so tiny that I wanted to be extra safe because he's just super teeny.
this is Nimwe's first litter, of course, so she's absolutely going, what the heck is going on? You should have seen her when I put her on her back. She's like going, what in the world?
Well, I think this baby is done feeding.
You could show everyone.
And there's the baby. Super tiny. Even with a full belly, it still doesn't look that big. But he was done trying to nurse.
It's tempting to not touch it.
We're gonna put this baby back in the nest, and we're gonna be doing this forced nursing every day for a while until this baby can compete with all its siblings. Alright, we're gonna just tuck this baby in, back into the fur nest. Just fluff the fur back over them. Alright, so we just got Nimwe and her babies put away. The little teeny tiny itty bitty baby got fed, so I'm pretty hopeful that he's gonna make it for another day, and we'll do it again tomorrow. Now, David and I had to change because of all the hair. So Nimwe is, I call her, she's a yucky bunny. She likes to pee on her marble tile, so that means that she is then dragging her body through it, so her hair is like damp and matted, and she gave birth, so it was just really gross. But she also hasn't been great about just cleaning up all the loose hair as she's molting out of her back end, so we were helping her with that. And this is the pile of the dirty hair. Now, all the clean hair, we kind of just added back into her nest just to make sure the babies had plenty of fur in there. But this is all the fur that was like urine clumped. So we have to clean that up. But that's why the wardrobe changed, because it's everywhere and it's super fine. Like, you can't even see it, but it's like sticking to your face and in your nose, and it's in your eyes, and it's everywhere. So in general, be warned, if you are dealing with a molting bunny, you may need a shower. But anyway, so that's all of our exciting news about our bouncing baby bunnies that all arrived over the past 2 days, yesterday and this morning. 18 babies in 24 hours. That is top notch. So we're really excited to have you guys watch their development, and we're really excited to see the new colors, because this is Nimwe's first litter, so we have no idea what her genetic potential is, what her colors are going to be. Like, we can see that some of them are going to be white and some other color. She's a seal rabbit. She looks black, especially in the video, but she's actually not black. She's actually an extremely dark brown. She's a beautiful rabbit. So we're really excited to see what her offspring are going to turn into. Thank you so much for joining us today on our little bunny adventure and watching Gideon with his development and his training. So as always, this is your urban nerd with a goat herd
And a bunch of bunnies.
A bouquet of bunnies.
Bouncing baby bunnies.
A bouquet of bouncing baby bunnies. Oh my gosh, how many bees can we fit in there, guys? Anyway, you can grow where you're planted.